Does body recomposition actually work? I've been consistently working out since about August, 2-3 times a week, following a lifting program. I also walk around 3 to 5 miles a day. I've been eating at maintenance, a few days over, a few days under to balance if I need to, but generally around 1,500 calories per day, and eating around 75 grams of protein. My lifts have been getting stronger, and I still get sore after every workout. My goal was to build strength, but also to recomp. I want to have a flatter or more toned stomach, but I don't really have weight to lose because I don't want to lose my thighs or butt. In fact, I'd love to get them bigger. My measurements are all the same, but my weight is up 2 pounds since I started being consistent. I feel like this is so pointless. Does recomping actually work? And if so, do I need to do something different? I'm 5 feet tall, 109 pounds, previously 107, 25 inches in the waist, 36 inches in the hip, and 28 inches around my navel. I look forward to hearing.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to today's broadcast. You heard it here. That is the question for today. That is what we're going to be tackling, body recompositioning. But exactly what the heck is body recompositioning? Why is it important? And what the heck does it have to do with you and your progress? I swear to you that I get so many questions every single day about how you guys can be doing things better, how you can see the progress that you want. And not only are you asking me questions about fat loss or just gaining muscle or just getting on stage, but I think body recompositioning and exactly how you go about that is one of the number one questions that I get. So we're going to go ahead and tackle this today. And not only we're going to tackle this, I really want to get into like kind of just the science behind body recompositioning, how you do it effectively, how I've done it with my clients all throughout the years and gotten them incredible results. But more importantly, just give you the tools that you need to do this and to do it the right way. You know how we work today. If you are live here on the podcast, live here in our coaching session, I am having a Q&A. So make sure you guys go ahead and say hello. We do have both my channels on. Okay. So we've got Blessed Be Fitness here today. We've got Redefining Bodybuilding. We got Facebook. So just go ahead and say hello. We got Twitter and Twitch. Say hello wherever you are in the comments. Go ahead and let us know what you're watching from. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments below and I'll make sure to feature them. But if you're here for the very first time, you're like, what is this? Who are you, honey? My name is Roxy Beckles, and I want to welcome you to my main fitness channel, Redefining Bodybuilding. If this is your first time here, one of the things that we are so passionate about here on this channel is to help women in particular. Now, I know I have men in the audience, but it's all about women on my channel and helping you to do this fitness thing better and smarter. I feel like there's so much information out there for guys about how to train, how to lift and do all that stuff. But for us, it's like the fluffer nutter. Okay. I call it the fluffer nutter. Okay. It's like stuff that's like the fluffy workouts and like, lift light weights and do a million butt exercises. Listen, you're about building the whole body and changing your body. Some of you want to compete. Some of you don't. You just want to look good. And I want to break down that science for you and help you to rewrite your story, get yourself together, empower yourself, and to do things the absolute smartest way absolutely possible. Oh boy, here we go. I'm so excited to have y'all here. We've got Elvis in the chat. What's going on, Elvis? We got a couple other people as well. So make sure that you guys go ahead and share what you want to know. Q&A will happen at the end of this broadcast. So make sure you stick around, honey. Okay. So I've got 5 tips that you need to apply to your programming today, right now. Like if recompositioning is totally your thing and you're trying to get this whole thing together, you're trying to figure that out, honey, if you go ahead and do these 5 tips I'm about to unveil for you, I promise you, you're going to see better results with your recompositioning. So let's go ahead and get into our first tip of the day, the ultimate steps to changing your body without actually losing weight on the scale. Oh yeah, here's 5 foolproof tips. The first tip we're going to hit right now, this is probably this is the best secret. Like if you could understand this, honey, listen, you just like listen, this pays for itself. Okay, this is free, but this is like coaching game here. Okay, this is what I do with my actual clients. First thing you got to do, you got to cycle fat loss and lean building. And what my exact kind of breakdown for that for you would be is this. You want to make sure that you are doing about 4 to 6 weeks of actual fat loss. You want to do about 8 to 12 weeks for lean building, for building up some muscle. And then make sure in between those, before you go back into fat loss again, that you spend about 2 to 4 weeks to maintain your body. Okay, so let's break that down for a moment, because here's the thing. A lot of you are either doing one thing or the other. You're either like in perpetual states of fat loss. I cannot tell you how often when I talk to a lot of women and what they're doing when it comes to why they're stuck and not seeing the results that they want. A lot of y'all are in perpetual fat loss. Like y'all been in fat loss for over a year, okay? And you're starving yourself down. You're thinking that you're going to gain muscle and do all this stuff on these crazy diets, and it's not happening. You're wondering why. Listen, you got to come off of fat loss sometimes. And it's okay to think about lean building, because in order to recomp, we want to go ahead and go for that balance. Some days, yes, you are going to build that lean mass. Some days you're going to go ahead in there. Yes, you're going to focus on fat loss, but it has to cycle. Now, as I said, it would be a great idea for you to chunk it up. Now, for most people who want to recomp, you're already pretty close to what your main, your weight goal is. So you're not trying to change that too much. You just want to change the body fat composition. You want to get more muscle in there. So about 4 to 6 weeks in fat loss is great. If you have a little bit more fat to lose, yeah, you can go a little bit longer. If you want to do 8 to 10 weeks or so, that's okay as well. And then once you do that, take yourself into about 2 weeks of maintenance before you jump into your next cycle. So you don't want to push yourself too much, too hard with the fat loss. You want to make sure that you stabilize your body just a little bit wherever you ended up, bring your calories to maintenance, and then go ahead and go into your lean building. Now, with the lean building, here's what you got to think about. Lean building takes time, right? It's not something that happens overnight. So that's why I say that 8 to 12 weeks, is that gives you an opportunity to really get in there, to establish that diet, to see what you need to see, to train hard and build lean, solid muscle. Now, keep in mind, I talk to natural athletes here. If you are someone who's enhanced, listen, the game is completely different for you, okay? These numbers could be a little bit sooner or however you want to work them, but I talk to the naturals here, okay? We talking to the naturals mostly here, okay? So if you keep those in mind, you keep that time period in mind, that's good. Now, after you do your lean building, again, 2 to 4 weeks in maintenance, right where your current weight is, hang out there, and then cycle into your next bit of fat loss. And this is a method that I've used with pretty much all of my clients who have done recompositioning very successfully. And I'm telling you, it is golden. So that is our first tip. Our second tip today that I want you to do is to focus on training heavy with compound lifts. Focus on training that makes your body move as one unit, because this will help you to burn far more calories in your session than doing things that's going to have you just like training one body part or whatever. Now, I am really big on functional training. Y'all know that I talk about functional training a whole lot here on this channel, because our channel or our methods and what we're trying to do, it's about longevity. It's not just about getting the result and then just, not knowing what the game is once you get there, right? We want to be able to not only get the result, but you want to be able to keep those results for life. All right. So functional training, in addition to your bodybuilding type of training, in addition to your cardio bunnies, I'm talking to you, this kind of stuff is going to be so important. So when I say compound lifts, what am I talking about? I'm talking about stuff that's going to have your body moving as one unit. I love power training. I love stuff like you see here, the clean and jerks. I love stuff like squats, lunges, all kinds of pushes, pulls, anything that you can think of that's going to move the body more than one joint. So for instance, let's say you wanted to train chest, right? And if you're doing chest flies, you're really just isolating on the joint right here in the shoulder, working that chest. But guess what? Chest workouts can be anything you want them to be. So you can do a chest press with a lunge. You can go ahead and you can do bench presses. You can do any kind of exercises that'll have you moving in one unit through space is perfect. Same thing if you're training your back and stuff like that. I love an exercise called Spider-Man pulls. I'll have to get a video for that for you guys because I love them. Great exercise. That's a dynamic pull. You're gonna go onto, let's say, a Smith machine, not Smith, cable. What is it called? Man, what is that thing called? I forget. Free motion, the free motion machine. Pull it down, and as you're pulling up, you hop to the next side and pull down. As your arms go up, you hop, land, and pull. Great exercise to help you to train the back, but it's functional and that you're moving everything as one unit. These are great for those of you who want recomp because you're not just focusing solely on the bodybuilding type of exercises, but you're doing things that's making your body work super hard, train in the same way, build muscle in the same way, but work on balance, proprioception, and keep your heart rate up. Honey, that is the kind of stuff that burns calories while you're training. So get into integrative training, get into functional training, get into stepping outside of your comfort zone and really pushing yourself as much as you can. Oh boy, I see our chat is on fire here. We are across several different platforms right now. So if you guys have any questions, make sure that you ask. If you want me to actually see your questions, the best thing that you can do right now is make sure that you super chat that. I'll go ahead and make sure that we answer that here for you. Now, I've got two more tips that I want to share with you, but before we do, listen, I got bills to pay here, and I want you guys to know about ways that you can really enrich your fitness journey. If what I'm talking about right now is something that is speaking to you, and I know a lot of it can be very complex. So if you know that you need a little help, I am taking on new clients. I will tell you about that in a minute. Our sponsor for today is my company, Rockstar Fitness. And I tell you what, listen, I talk a lot of good stuff here on the channel, here on the podcast, but I'll tell you, I share a lot more stuff on my email list. So I want to make sure that you go ahead and get on my email list. Watch this. What you're seeing here on my channel? Well, this is just a taste. I want to invite you to come join my exclusive email list. Get even more tips and advice on training, nutrition, mindset, motivation, and empowering your femininity, all sent directly to your inbox. Stay inspired and be the first to access my newest articles, personal blog posts, podcasts, and videos. Don't let social media dictate when or if you get my stuff. Let's get directly connected and walk side by side on your journey to your best body and best life yet. Best of all, it's totally free. Head to rockstarfitness.com/email list. See you soon. Guys, you gotta get on my email list. If you're not on my email list, what are you waiting for, honey? It's totally free. So this is that QR code right here. Scan it, get on it right now. The link is also down below. If you're someone who is looking for help right now, I am taking on new clients. Get a 20-minute complimentary call so we can talk about what's going on with you, what you need to do, how you need to change your diet, your training, and your mindset and everything to get you to the next level. And hey, if I can help you, I have a program that works with your budget and we feel like we're a great match, honey, we'll make that happen. But you got to scan that QR code that you see on screen right now or click the link down below to make that happen. So I promised y'all 5. And we just did 2 major tips that are going to game change your recompositioning goals. So let's go into actually the next tip. I want to go into the next tip for you. And that is this. And oh boy, I talk about this almost every dang show. I swear I do. Okay. And that is this. Do not overdo the cardio. Only do as much as your body needs to keep body fat percentage under control. And you want to do a mix of HIIT metabolic circuits because, honey, those are golden. Do you hear me? Let me say it again. Those are golden. Okay. So let's talk about why. Now, my cardio bunnies, listen, I know I feel for you. I do because I know y'all love that cardio. Y'all love running. Y'all love pushing yourselves. Y'all like getting out you like just getting out the mud, honey. Okay. And yeah, I know it feels good. I know it feels like, you're getting that heart rate up, you're getting that sweat on, and you think that's working all the time. But here's the thing, like you're just creating a caloric sink, right? And I'm going to talk about the percentages that you need to break down as far as your diet when it comes to your fat loss, like how much of a deficit you need. And when it comes to your lean building cycles, because I just told you how long to stay there, what you need, macros wise to make this stuff really happen for you. If you're doing like tons and tons of cardio, you're really not going to be able to recomp very well because you're going to be burning up muscle tissue. And it's kind of counterproductive because at the end of the day, our goal is to maintain your shape, maintain your body weight where it is roughly, right? All while we go ahead and push you to build muscle. And that's going to be very strategic in your approach. Now, so what I want you to do is look at ways that you can go ahead and raise your heart rate in this process, raise the intensity in this process. So that's why I'm big on HIIT training. I'm big on metabolic circuits. Now, not just like, doing regular circuit training, but the type of circuit training that's going to really take you outside of your comfort zone, minimal rest in between, moderate to lighter weights, not too heavy, moving things as fast as you can, high repetition, really stepping outside of your comfort zone and feeling like your heart rate is up, like you are doing cardio in your weight training. Now, in those fat loss phases, and even in the lean building phases, in your recompositioning goal, fat loss, I would say you can do that about 2-3 times a week, depending on how you set up your programming. HIIT training as well. If you could do HIIT on the cardio, 20-30 minutes is all you need. 3 times a week, boom, perfect, right? If you're in that maintenance or you're in that lean building phase, you can do the same kind of thing, but I would take it down to maybe 2 days or 1 day during the week where you are doing that in the lean building or the maintenance phase. And yes, you can do steady state as well. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on your body, may be all you need to do. The point of the matter is, at the end of the day, you're relying on your training to hold on to muscle. You're relying on your diet and partially the cardio to help to keep the body fat under control, but you do not need to be overdoing it. Too many of you overdoing it. Listen, step it back from the edge, baby, okay? And train intelligently. Our next tip here, okay, our next thing I want you to go ahead and keep in mind in this process is this. We got to talk about the diet because without the diet, honey, none of this stuff is going to work. Okay, it's just not going to work. Okay, so you need to eat a balanced diet. Now, try to stay away from extremes when recompositioning is your thing. Remember, we are cycling through, and those cycles are important because it gives you a chance to really focus on one goal at a time as you recomp over time. We're going to talk about that in a minute, about the time period it's going to take for you to actually do this strategically. So try to stay away from those extremes. During your fat loss, I want you to focus on a moderate cut, not an extreme cut, a moderate cut. That means you're going to take about a 10 to 15% deficit during the fat loss phases. Now, when you're lean building, you've got to eat in a surplus, but we don't want to get uncomfortable. We don't want to get overweight. We don't want that body fat to be all over the place, honey. Okay. So make sure with a moderate build, you're only about 5 to 10% above your maintenance calories for what you need to see that lean build happening in a healthy and sound way. So, honey, that diet is going to be important in this process because you can't just be up in the gym training yourself all the way to death and then you think you're going to just get over on the training. No, you got to zero in on that diet, and that diet is so very important in this process. And you guys look, you can do all the training you want. Diet is always the driving factor, right? But we want to make sure you take a balanced approach. And when I say a balanced approach, I really want you to make sure that you're not cutting out entire food groups. Okay. Yes, you can eat the carbohydrates. Yes, you can eat the protein. Yes, you can eat the fat. In fact, in the beginning question, the woman that had asked that question for her, her macros and stuff like that, she's 106 pounds or 107 pounds, only eating 75 grams of protein. What the heck do you think you're going to be able to do with that? What kind of muscle do you think you're going to be able to do with that? You need at least around, not at least, but just around 1 times your body weight in pounds for the amount of protein that your diet needs to be. And then taking that deficit of about 10 to 15%. If you're in the fat loss phase, surplus is about 5 to 10% or so if you're in the lean build. Okay. So strategically putting this together in a way that makes sense is what is so incredibly important, and making sure that you're keeping that diet as a main driving factor to the changes you need. Listen, guys, I say this all the time. You got to eat to be lean, eat to be strong, eat to have the body of your dreams. Food is your greatest ally in this game. It is not your worst enemy. And so many of you treat food as though it is the enemy here. And that's why you're not seeing the changes that you need. So keep it balanced, keep it intelligent, have the foods you enjoy, have a cheat meal in there every once in a while. But please make sure you are not going to those extremes. And let's go ahead and take a look at the next tip, because this next tip is always the one that everybody needs to know. Roxy, this sounds great, girl. Okay. But how long is it going to take me? Right? Is it going to take me? How long is it going to take? Okay. How long? Okay. Results for successful recomping will take about this long, guys. 6 months to 1 year or longer. Now, listen, don't go nowhere. Listen, do not switch off. Do not switch off. Listen, I need you to come here. Okay. I need you to come here and sit here for a second. I'll break this down for you. The first thing I need you to do right now is just go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Look, we're going to break it down. Subscribe to the channel. All right. Because I share stuff like this on a weekly basis. We have our live podcast here, which I call our coaching sessions. Okay, I call this the coaching session. This is time I sit down and I rip off the Band-Aid and I talk to you like a real human being. Okay, I talk to you like someone who knows what they're doing in the gym. You know, too many people chatting at you like you's a dummy. No, we're smart here. I know you're a little bit more advanced. So make sure you subscribe and don't forget to like the video. If you have not liked the video, like the video, thumbs up, and share below in the comments, even after the broadcast if you have questions, because I'm always going through the comments and I'm making sure that you guys are taken care of. Okay, so go ahead, make sure y'all do that right now. Now let's go ahead into this next thing here, because some of y'all ain't got no patience. You just ain't got no patience, and that's the problem. You trying to get everything like this. It don't work like that. Okay, real progress don't be like this, y'all. Okay, real progress takes time. And the thing that I find with body recompositioning is that, yeah, that time that you need, it's going to take sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year, sometimes longer, depending on your starting point. But the thing that you got to understand is that this body composition thing, it's a journey, right? It is a journey. And the destination is whatever your current goal is. And that destination should grow, it should move, it should blossom, it should challenge you even further as you go ahead and knock out these goals one by one. And so you've got to have the patience to see things in a long-term view. What can you be doing every single day? What drops in the bucket could you be putting in there every single day to see the progress that you want? How are you showing up every single day in this process? That's what's the most important thing. And if you're not willing to put in that kind of work, guys, no matter what, if you just want fat loss, if you just want to build muscle, if recompositioning really isn't your thing, it does not matter. You're simply not going to see those kind of changes because you just don't have the wherewithal to, to just keep it going. And this stuff is a lifestyle. It is a process. So if you want to ask me, listen, honey, it's going to take you some time. 6 months, it's going to take about 6 months. It's going to take about a year. It may take a little longer, but it's all about what you want to do and how you want to really stay in the game. Okay, guys, listen, the stuff we talk about here, I'm just really about giving you the tools that you need to be successful. So like I said, if what I'm saying to you right now is firing you up, get on my email list. This is the QR code. Scan it right now. Okay. And it's free. I send out blog posts that go into detail about training, nutrition, mindset, things that people are not talking about online. I am breaking it down on my email list in emails that you get almost every single day. Listen, there's no other source here online that is taking you through the real process of getting results on your own. So make sure you get on my email list. And also for those of you, again, if what I'm saying is speaking to you right now, and you're like, look, Rox, look, this sounds good. I really need a lot of work. Listen, I know how it is. I am taking on new clients and I want to talk to you. So get yourself up here, honey. Come on, get yourself up here. What you waiting for? Okay. Now I'm looking through to see if we got any comments that came through on here. I don't see any comments, which is full in the gang. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and, oh wait, I do have a comment. Let me see this comment right here. We got a comment in from Elvis. Elvis asked this a little bit earlier. Can avoiding sugar and bulking up as men help build muscle while losing fat? You know what, Elvis, this is a good question. And I'll tell you what, some of y'all need to avoid sugar because you eat too damn much of it. You see what I'm saying? Some of y'all just eat too much dang sugar. And so, yes, you need to quote unquote avoid sugar. Now, here's the thing that gets a little dangerous with this kind of conversation because, again, I'm not about cutting out entire food groups or stuff like that to see the progress that you want to see. I am about moderation and control because guess what? At the end of the day, that is the kind of thing that's going to get you the results that you want, not just completely cutting out food groups. Now, here's what I'll tell you to do. And this is a really great question, Alvis, and that is limit your intake if you're eating too much. If you're eating that processed stuff, you sitting around like me. Listen, I got to be honest with y'all. I be on that Starbucks. I be on that Starbucks. I need to cut it back. Okay. If you be on it like me, or if you're someone who drinks a lot of fruit juices or like smoothies, them smoothies is doing a lot of y'all in. Okay. Because you're putting too much stuff in them smoothies. Okay. You're not measuring nothing. And the calories is astronomical. Okay. It's not as healthy as you think. Or if you're someone who drinks a lot of soda, you snack on stuff, you like sweets, you got a sweet tooth, guess what? All of that stuff, yeah, you need to cut back. You need to be really honest about your nutrition and what you're really doing. Here's the other newsflash. A lot of y'all need to go ahead and think about counting your calories, tracking MyFitnessPal or other things. You need to make sure you're doing that because without doing it, this is the stuff that is thwarting your progress. You guys, you know, the biggest culprit with diet for a lot of folks is the fact that you are underestimating what you're eating. Like you think you're eating 1,700 calories, baby. You see in about 2,000 calories and you don't even know it because you're not tracking. So sometimes it's not just the sugar. It's more than the sugar. Sometimes it's the fact that you don't know how much sugar you actually eaten or how much fat and calories and other stuff you actually eaten. So Alvis, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and check that. Okay. Listen, I pulled off the Band-Aid here. Y'all know you don't come over here to Roxy's lair and think you're gonna get the BS. You know, we're gonna go ahead and really talk about it. Now, I want to go ahead and wrap up with this because if you are someone who's looking to really get in the best shape of your life, if nutrition and training, all that stuff is really stumping you up, then I'm gonna go ahead and put this video right over here in the replay for you to go ahead and check out, because I want to give you a little bit more of what you can do to get this whole thing together. Even if fat loss or recompositioning, whatever is your goal, check out this video right over here and I'll go ahead and see you over there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.